Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and I want to do a run through of the Seraph Cipher artifact so I can explain to you guys which mods you should be going after. Whether you unlock them all or you get most of them unlocked. Some of you guys are PvE, PvP players, some people are solo and group players. There's kind of mods for everybody this season, so I want to break down which ones you should prioritize going after and which ones you as a certain player might skip. Now in column 1 it's very straightforward. Basically you've got your champion mods. Overloads are going to be auto rifles, SMGs, and scouts. Barrier is going to be bows and pulse rifles. And then you've got unstoppable hand cannons. Now, you are not crazy. Unstoppable hand cannons feels bad right now. I don't know if it is a bug or intentional. I hope it is changed whichever way it is. Because you have to basically aim down sights for like 3 seconds. It's like 1001, 1002, and somewhere in 1003 it finally procs. But it is way longer than it used to be, and I don't like what they did to it. You may have to use the hand cannon mod at some point. But I will tell you, generally I don't love this thing. That's why I ended up using grenade launchers for some of this, but we'll get to that. So yeah, unstoppable hand cannons. Don't love it. You're not crazy. It is definitely slower than it used to be. Column 2, we've got grenade launcher holster. Grenade launchers definitely have some things going on this season. This is not a bad way to go, especially for your heavy grenade launchers if you want some DPS. So don't sleep on this one. Could actually be worth your time, especially for 1 point. Origin traits. Origin traits either have the effectiveness or the duration improved on any of these mods. And you have Ambush and Bray Inheritance. Bray Inheritance is from Deepstone Crypt. The weapons in there now get origin traits, plus they're going to be craftable. And the Bray Inheritance, basically, when you do damage, you give a little bit of ability energy back to your abilities. So as you're doing damage, you're helping recharge your abilities. That could be really strong later on in the season. It's actually quite good. Ambush, if you go look at the new seasonal weapon, you've got Ambush showing range, improves range, handling, and damage against combatants during the opening moments of an engagement. So if you're going to think about that one, it's going to potentially do the effectiveness, like the range, handling, and damage. It's not a ton of damage. It might be like 5-10%. But depending on if it's like a perfect PvP loadout build or something, I could see some people getting some use out of this one. But Bray Inheritance for getting your abilities back, especially for weapons that fire more than like 1 bullet every so often like a scout rifle, that could be really strong. And if it makes it better, yeah, don't sleep on that one. Could be good. Airborne effectiveness increases the airborne effectiveness of all equipped weapons. Now, if you're a PvP player who really wants to embrace airborne effectiveness, more power to you. If you are not a PvP player who likes jumping in the air and trying to get those airborne shots, you probably don't care about this one. This is going to help. I think it's like 30 points in AE, and it's going to definitely help people who are trying to, you know, be more airborne. But if this is not your thing, yeah, obviously skip it. Similar here with bows, this is probably more of a PvP thing with the ready and stow speed. Some people like to pull back and like hit people with a bow shot and then do a quick switch to like a hand cannon for a follow-up. And that is a lethal combination for those who do it well. But otherwise, I don't think dexterity on a bow is something where you really just need a mod. I just don't think that's going to be that beneficial. Now these are different. Mobile retrofit is +5 mobility, but it costs you 3 energy. Resilience retrofit is 4 energy and it gives you 5 resilience. Conceptually, I like the idea of them giving a chance to get stats for your character in different slots. The problem I have is the fact that it costs way too much energy to do it. 5 mobility is normally 1 energy. This is 3, so it's in a different slot and costing more. Now, for mobility, they put it on the legs. Legs have less competition for mods than I would imagine, say, the one I'll show you next. So this one I don't hate as much. But I will tell you, like, the energy cost being 3 times what it normally is just doesn't feel great. So I don't like the cost of either of this and the next model I'm going to show you. But I do like the concept of them trying to introduce ways for you to get stats in other places. That I would be okay with. Now this one, way worse. It's in the chest. You're already going to have stats on 1. You're going to have damage mitigation in a couple slots. Like, look at my chest. I have 10 resilience for 3 energy, and they're trying to charge me 5 resilience for 4 energy. That is not going to be efficient no matter which way you slice it, because any of these are going to be cheaper. All of these one-piece mods, this is 25% by itself. Even if I double stack and I get up to 40% void damage mitigation, that's still going to be fairly solid because it's going to be 40%. Also, I can switch this over to concussive or sniper or melee. All of those are going to be options, and like area of effect is going to be a big thing. You combine those together, pretty good. And then say you are literally thinking, you're like, but I'm at like 95 resilience. I don't want to get to 100. Okay. If you're at 95, currently you're getting 32% damage mitigation. If you spend 4 energy in that middle slot, you're getting 8% damage mitigation. There's a new mod right here, Energy Diffusion, which is a small amount of resistance to all damage to all combatants, and this costs you 1, and this is 5%. Theoretically, later on, this could stack. Right now, it is broken, which I'll get to. But, like, if you just wanted all damage mitigation, here you go. It's 5%, and it costs 1 energy instead of this little tick to get from, like, 95 to 100. So, while it's a nice idea, I don't like the cost. Hopefully, that's reviewed in the future. But in theory, hopefully they experiment with that more. Greatly increases the duration and effectiveness of the Tex Balance stock and the Vice Stinger origin trait. Now, Tex Balance, these are from the new dungeon weapons. This is going to be damaging targets while firing from the hip, increases handling, reload, and movement speed while aiming down sights. I could see that probably being beneficial in PvP, but not drastic in PvE. Vice Stinger, though? Oh, man. If you can make this greatly increased effectiveness and duration, damaging an enemy with this weapon has a small chance to reload the magazine and increase movement speed while aiming down sights. So now this is greatly increased. Bows receive faster draw speed. Swords receive faster charge rate while this perk is active. Vice Stinger is already damn good on basically everything that it's on. So if you want to make Vice Stinger better, I have no opposition to that. So this is going to be really solid. This is your 5% here. It's fine. But again, don't stack it until the bug is... If you put 1 on, this is 5% to all damage. If you put 2 on, it basically negates this mod and is bugged out. So until it is fixed, if you want to put this on, you can do 1. Just don't do more than 1. That's all I'm saying. Pulse Rifle Loader, pretty straightforward. If you like your pulses, you want them to reload fast, go for it. Hand Cannon Targeting, very much for hand cannon PvP users. Grenade Launcher Unstoppable. While it is painful that it is 7 energy, I really wish, like last season, Overload Machine Guns were 1. Unstoppable Grenade Launchers are 7. I do not understand the math, because then Sniper Rifles were like 6 last season. Someone explain the math to me. It is too much. But right now, Grenade Launchers have some good functionality, so if I'm using them, I might just use it anyway, because hand cannons are that bad. So, Unstoppable Grenade Launcher, you just might have to work around the cost. Combat Style Mod. Countercharge. Become charged with light whenever you or a fire team member stuns a champion. That's actually not bad. If you just need a way to become charged with light for your build, and you're going into something with a lot of champions, here you go. That's actually kind of nice. For your fire team groups, you've got Advanced Scout. Champions you stun take additional damage from your teammates. So if you are the champion stunner, you're like, all right, I'm loaded up with some boring stuff, but I'm stunning everything, so your people who are loaded up with powerful things can do the DPS. Now you can get some nice team synergy going on. Lord Kelvin's Basilisk. Void and Stasis grenades cause disruption. Basically, they will stun Overload champions, but also, if you read why Overload is just good all the time, they delay ability regeneration and lower the damage output of any combatant. In PvE, this is actually good to just do Overload damage a lot. So if you like Void grenades, here you go. Unstops. If you don't love any of your options, you got your melee abilities of both Stasis and Arc. Theoretically, those could stun your champions. And then for your teammates, again, if somebody on your team can finish off the Lightbearer Hive or champions that you're facing in high-level content, heavy ammo is going to be all over the ground, so you'll be good. Fun time. Solo Operative. While you are the only member of your fire team, soloing Lost Sector, soloing Nightfalls, just doing anything solo by yourself, 15% damage to everything that you do. If you're a solo player, this is your time to solo dungeons. This is your time to just be a little bit more powerful as a solo player all the time. So yeah, 15% damage to everything. I'm going to be leaving this thing on. And it's only 5 energy, so you got some fun combos. Monochromatic Maestro. This is 6 energy, so you can't pair it, which I wish you could, but dealing damage with elemental abilities grants increased damage to weapons of the same type. And the same thing happens. Dealing damage with elemental weapons increases damage for abilities. So if you throw a storm grenade and then you turn around and fire an arc weapon, guess what? That arc weapon does 10% more damage. If you're firing with that arc weapon and then you throw that storm grenade, now that storm grenade does more damage. It's 10% on either direction. I think there's a small global cooldown in between. But other than that, very helpful, very functional, quite great, actually. Weakened Clear. They are really leaning into grenade launchers, so if you damage a boss, damage a champion, or break a combatant shield, you're going to reload your stowed weapons and weakens the combatant, and they take 15% more damage. So while this is a buff to you of 15%, With 5 more energy, you can have a grenade launcher weaken an enemy for 15%. So you can actually have both because they're 5, and I have my class item set up that way right now. Finally, passive guard for glaives. If you are holding your glaive and you are close to enemies, you will receive less damage. It actually was pretty good because they had this for swords before, and you were able to withstand quite a bit more damage if you were close and personal, which you kind of generally have to be if you're poking away with your glaive. But if you're a glaive person, this could be a really fun way for you to go. But yeah, that's basically your mods. Solo players get some benefits. Some nice team synergy here. You get Charge of Light for stunning champions. Laying into that. I'm using grenade launchers over hand cannons because this thing sucks so much. Make sure you don't double up on energy diffusion substrate until it is fixed, because right now it's bugged. If you use more than one, it's 0. And while I don't love the cost of these, I like the concept of those. And yeah, don't sleep on the Vice Sting or Origin Boost. This is going to be really strong. So that's pretty much it for the artifact. If you found this video beneficial, maybe helped you like choose the path of what you're going to unlock, drop a like below. If I misspoke or misquoted or mispercented something, put that in the comments, and if something is drastic, I'll pin a comment in there. If this thing gets fixed, maybe I'll try and pin a comment in there if I can remember to go back and do it as well. All of you guys, though, thank you very much. If you enjoy the content from me, you can find me over on Twitch, on Twitter. I'll be streaming my work on solo dungeon attempts this weekend, so come hang out with me on Twitch. And if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video, which will likely be my solo dungeon guide if I can get this thing done, or many other guides coming in the future for Season 19. Thank you very much, and if you're a YouTube member or Patreon sub, thanks for the extra support. You guys are fantastic. I'll see you soon.